dear. Oh, jeez. Hello, hello. Hello, my friends. How are you doing today? Hello, my friends. How are you doing today? Oh, my goodness. Are you staying warm? Woo! I just love anything knit. Oh, I love handmade. Don't you love handmade? Handmade scarves, handmade mitts, handmade socks. I love it. Handmade cards. Hi, my name is Tina Kavergich, and I am Northern Stamper. Thank you for joining me. Today is Takeaway Tuesday. Woo! What a special day we have for today. I am very, very excited because we are going to be using one of my favorite items, blending brushes. Blending brushes, gotta show them to you. Blending brushes, these are fantastic. I just love them. So, oh, there's another me going on here. So, thank you for joining me. Make sure you have today's package, which says January the 18th. Oh, are you keeping warm, ladies? It is very cold. Beautiful outside, but very cold. And yesterday was a nice snow day for us in quite a bit of southern Ontario, well, at least Toronto, Ajax area. Good morning, Sharon and Liz. Where's my my snow shovel? Oh, I should have got it. It's actually buried in the snow. Yesterday we decided to have a full snow day. We took all the shovels into the backyard, and our backyard, instead of being nice and pristine of snow, it is completely trampled with a giant toboggan hill in the middle. It was such a fun day for us. And then we had to shovel the driveway, which was took us about 2 hours. I don't know about you. Did you shovel all that snow? It was fantastic. Anyways, thank you for joining me. Look, all my friends are joining in. Rita, Carol, Sandra. Oh my goodness. Thank you for joining me. Today we are, like I said, we're using blending brushes. I love blending brushes. They are so cool. They give such a really interesting effect, and you could do so much with it. But before we get started on that, as I said, my name is Tina Kavergich, and we are going to be using items from the new mini catalog and celebration. If you don't have a catalog, let me know in the comments below. I'd be happy to send one out to you. There are a lot of great stuff in there. Right now they have some deals going on. You don't want to miss that. One of the deals is when you join my team or sign up and get a starter kit, you can choose $165 worth of product for only $133. Best part out, you get to choose 2 free stamp sets, and I highly recommend choosing the most expensive stamp sets that they have. So that's the best way you can get the most for your money. So you don't want to miss that. So that is a great deal. Also, one of the things you could do if you want to place in your starter kit, oh shaking man, they are actually, Stampin' Up! Is coming out with some new Stampin' Blends. These are alcohol-based markers. These are actually the colors, they are called skin tones. They're a variety of colors. They're actually very beautiful, you know. And you can choose that along with, oh, wait a sec. There's a stamp set that goes with it, and a die set that cuts everything out. Very nice. So there's the stamp set, so it can cut out some of these items. And they got these really great words. It says here for you and you matter. These are really nice to get. Also, what comes in that package you can choose our new black and white designer series papers. Very pretty. And I'm actually going to show you, we're going to do a little, I'm going to do a showcase on it with the blending brushes and this paper. So if you want to add that to your pack, you can do that. New demonstrators or demonstrators can actually order this right now. That's one good thing about being a demonstrator. You get to order things a month in advance and get to play with them early. So that is what I've talked about. Great thing to add to your starter kit if you so do so. Thank you for joining me. It is Takeaway Tuesday. For February, we are going to be looking at designer series paper. I love designer series paper. That is all from the mini catalog. I love it. And some of it will be from the celebration. And I love designer series paper because it can do so much for a card. It really can do quite a bit. One of the ones I was kind of thinking of showcasing, but I'm not. But this is what I've been kind of tooling around with. Oops. This is one of the cards I created with some of the designer series paper from the celebration. You can choose this, and this looks really easy. It is super, super easy. Another one, this one's not quite finished, but it is a fancy fold card. But look at that. Isn't that cute? And then it folds out like that. It is really cute. So it's using the designer paper, and we're going to be doing that for February. So designer series papers for February. February's takeaway packages have all been accounted for. They went like hotcakes. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I am now working on the March Takeaway Tuesdays, which are all going to be slimline. I'm hoping to get into shape and be part of that slimline, but I'm not sure. Oh, excuse me. So March Takeaway is all about slim line cards. Now I'm going to give you two options. You could just get the package if you want for $15 and follow along. That's great. That's $15. Or you can get the slimline package, which comes with envelopes, slimline envelopes, and the stamp set that we're going to be using for the whole month of March. If you want to do that, I'm going to give you a bit of a deal on that. I'm going to give it to you for about 40 bucks. So let me know what you prefer. Sign up for that. And that was for Takeaway Tuesday on March. And one of my favorite stamp sets, this I've decided is going to be a class on March the 6th. Lucky people just came in. I have 2 stamp sets left. I have just ordered 2 more stamp sets of the Friendly Hello for the March 6th class. If you would like to join, you do actually get this for $30 in the package. So you get all the pre-cut items and this stamp set for $30 if you want. But let me know and send your payment, because I only have like limited supply of this. I only have 2 stamp sets left of this particular one for the package. Or you could just get all the little the items in the pack for $15. It's up to you. Let me know which one you want. Oh, and since you've joined me, let us have a little winter prize today. So what I'm going to do is, these are the winter wonderful snowflakes. I thought we're going to do snowflakes. They are iridescent snowflakes. And they're from the December mini catalog. And I thought, let's give this away as a prize today for those that post a picture of a card that they've created within 2022. How's that? Ooh, 2022. Have you made a card from 2022? Okay. So I've decided, because it's all snowy, let's give away some snowflakes. So post away a picture, and I'll do a random draw later tonight. You have until 9 o'clock tonight to post your picture of a card you've made for 2022. Or if you're making a card today with me, post that. That's great too. That qualifies for this takeaway. You have until 9 o'clock tonight. Okay, are we all ready? Have you got all your blending brushes? Whoa, some of the inks, oh, they're going on a ride. Some of the inks you're going to need for this one, you can use whatever you like, but I'm going to be using like a yellow, a bit of an orange, which is the pale papaya. I'm going to be using a little purple for fresh freesia, and the flirty flamingo. It's up to you what you want to use, but consider something like that is in a sunset. Like, did you see last night's sunset? It was an absolute gorgeous color pinky, kind of flirty flamingo night. It was absolutely stunning. Fantastic. And don't forget to have your Memento black ink for that. So you want that with your blending brushes, okay? So let's get started. Don't forget to post today's picture, and I want to do a little bit of showing something with the blending brushes, and I'm going to be doing it on these great black and white new papers. So let's get started. Hang on with me, and let's get you up onto the camera mount so that we can get started. Oh, hold on. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I think it did not like being placed on that camera mount. I do apologize. Let's give it a second for people to find us again. My goodness, I don't know what happened. That was kind of odd. I've been able to fix most of my issues here, but I don't know what happened. So let's give it a second. Give me a comment to let me know that you've been able to find me again, and I will start off with creating the, there we go, we'll put that there, with the new video. So I just want to make sure I didn't lose anybody. Hopefully I did not lose anybody. So comment below so I can know that you were able to start with us. So in the meantime, what I'm going to do is actually do that kind of blending brush with the two different designer series paper. Oh, Cindy, I see Cindy and Shirley and Karen. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Maybe it just really didn't like going up on the camera mount. So it does happen. Thank you very much. All right, so let's get some colors in. So what I'm going to do, actually, I wanted to show you how I can do using just the white and some of the little black on here. I wanted to show that. And I also wanted to show using completely the black background and a little bit of white. So let's grab some inks. I'm going to grab the Pale Papaya. I don't know about you ladies, I love Pale Papaya, one of my favorite colors. Gotta tell you, make sure you clean your inks before, your stamp sets before you ink. I had made a mistake and I was stamping with the Memento black ink, and you can kind of guess which stamp set that is. It's from the Friendly Hello. And I forgot to clean it off, and now it's stuck kind of on my ink pad. So I'm not sure if it kind of comes off or not, but just be careful. Make sure that you clean in between each one. So what I'm going to do is take my blending brush, and I'm going to like rub it in here, and as I'm going to start blending, I'm going to start off on the paper first, and I'm just going to kind of go through and blend it, and you can see the colors, whoa, we're shaking, slowly moving into the paper. Wow, that looks great. And I'm going to do a couple of different ones. And oh, I love this. This is going to look great on a card. So with the white and some of these black accents in the DSP, it really is going to highlight very nicely. So give me a second. Let's get that going. This is Pale Papaya. I love this color. I don't know about you. And it is one of my favorite colors from the new ink colors. And let's match that with the Fresh Frieza. Now, the blending brushes, I have a whole bunch. So I have this one marked as yellow. So anything that's yellow, I will use on. You don't need to clean them, but just, you know, kind of stick with one color. So this is my purple brush, so I'm going to get some purple on there. And starting off on the edge, and I'm going to move in. All right, I know it's a little shaky, kind of like that volcano in Tonga. Anybody see that how it kind of erupted? It looks really cool. They were able to get it from space. That is amazing. And technology these days, what we are all able to do compared to what, 30 years ago, it is absolutely amazing how far we've come. So I'm putting a little bit of the purple in. As you can see, it is very light. I don't know if you can tell, but it is very light in color, but it looks fantastic. So I'm going to add a little bit more. And then we're just going to add a third color. So I'm kind of doing a rainbow, and I'm going to go across where the two colors meet a little bit and match them in. And as I cut this up to create a card, it is going to look absolutely fantastic with the different colors coming in. Let's go with the Flirty Flamingo. And so there's a different one. So this is my other pink. I think Flirty Flamingo is either a pink or an orange, or so. Woo! That's really bright down there. Woo! That's why you kind of start off on the paper. So just so it doesn't shock you. And let's add that in, the Flirty Flamingo. Okay. And there we go. The whole card is completely colored, very lightly colored, but this is going to look really nice. Oh, can you see? It's going to look really, really nice on a card. So hopefully, is my computer working well? I can't tell. I know it says keeps freezing. But hopefully it's working well. So as you can see, there's a light coloring on the white paper with some black. So what I'm going to do is actually just take a little bit. I wanted to show you the black. So if I just color on here, oops, let's get some ink. It may not show up as bright, but it still works just as great. So it just adds a little bit of color. With the Flirty Flamingo, I can see it's coming on here quite a bit more. And I'm going to actually use a yellow because yellow means happy. I wonder who told me that. So I'm going to use my yellow. Let's get some yellow ink. Whoops. And don't want to be too shocked with it, so I'm going to go through. There we go. Works really, really well on the black with the little bits of white in here on the DSP. Looking really nice here. And I've got one strip left. Let's add some purple to that. I don't know if can you see the coloring come up? It is very subtle, but it looks really good. Good morning, Catherine and Rita. I'm glad you could make it. And my friend Sherry Lou, I hope you're staying warm. Shoveling out the little birdhouse there. Keep those little birds in their little birdhouse. So, okay. The purple is very, very light, so I can keep going back over it. But this is going to look really cool on a card. And I can make it as dark as I want. But I wanted to show you the new designer series paper that they have coming out. Some ideas that you can do with the blending brushes. And these are going to look great. So what I'm going to do is I will make some cards today and post them using the blending brushes I've done on this paper to give you some ideas. This looks great. I love blending brushes. So, with that being said, oh my goodness, that looks so cool. Let's move on to our package. So what you want to do is you want to grab the Takeaway Tuesday, January the 18th package, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to open that up, and I'm going to show you the finished card first. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this sunset, and this girl is going to be in white. So this is kind of quite an involved card, so it's going to take us maybe a little bit longer today, but I hope you don't mind. So let's look inside our package, okay? And what you should have is a circle, okay, and that's what we're going to do our stamping on. There is a circle with the scalloped edges that matches that, so that's going to go behind. There is a piece of designer series paper from Celebration. We're going to be using that, so let's place that aside. along with our scallop circle. We don't need that at the moment. There is a little piece of basic white cardstock, and that is for our sentiment. Okay, we're going to be using that. We have our card base, which is a basic white, so let's place that aside also. And you're going to notice that I've already pre-cut a circle out of just a piece of cardstock, and this is going to be thrown away. So, my goodness, this is a very painful Tuesday today. Sorry about that. I realized I was had it on the wrong Wi-Fi connection, and this should not happen again. So, as I mentioned, we have our parts and pieces ready together. So we have our ribbon. Here's our ribbon. We got our ribbon. We're going to just place that aside. As I mentioned, there is a little piece of designer series paper that has a pre-cut circle out for you. And what we're going to be using this is as a mask. So one thing you do need is a piece of, just a piece of scrap paper. For that, you just need a scrap paper, and we're going to be doing a little bit of masking. So let's get started on doing that. So with our scrap paper, I'm just going to put this off to the side a little bit. What we're going to do is we are going to get our Memento black ink, and the stamp set we're going to use is the girl with the little glass. It could be orange juice or wine or whatever you like. So let's get her up on a block. And what we're going to do is on the scrap piece of paper. Now this could be any kind of paper, like something you grab from the garbage, as long as it's not wrinkled. A piece of photocopy paper or anything like that. What we're going to do is we're going to stamp an image of the girl, and what we need to do is then cut her out. So I'm going to stamp the image of the girl and the black, and what we're just going to do is we are going to cut around the girl. Okay, so I'm just going to cut around, so take a little bit of time and cut around the image of her. We just want her. And she needs to be all in one piece. So let's get cutting like that. So this may take a little bit of time. If you don't have the time, just continue to watch the video and do this a little later. But we do need to do this before we move on to the next step. So kind of cut around a little bit. Okay. And there we go. It's going to take a little bit of time. And, oops, get as close to the image as you can. Okay, so I'm going to cut around her arm and her wine glass. So you want to cut as close as possible as you can. Like I said, I do apologize about the video and it stopping and stuff like that. I do apologize. I have fixed that issue. I didn't realize, but comment below if you have been able to figure out to reload the page. I see some of you have come back. So I've cut her out. Don't forget to cut in between the arm here. So carefully poke with your scissors, carefully, to make a little hole. And that's why I like these snips, because you can get right up into the tips. And we're going to cut around carefully. Don't want to cut her arm off. And otherwise she won't be holding her hat. So cut as closely as you can. But just, take your time. These snips work really well because the tips of it can cut right up into the little corners. Okay, so as you can see, I have the girl cut out. I have it cut around her elbow in the center, and she's all cut out. So there you can see like that. And what we're going to do, this is creating a mask for us. Okay, so once you have the girl cut out, all right, let's put her right here. we are going to take our circle and we're going to stamp this exact same image on the circle again. Okay, so let's get our Memento black ink. Okay, this is all about masking. And I want to make sure I get the little seagulls in there, so I'm just going to stamp in the circle and have her placed on there. As you can see, she fits perfectly in that circle. Okay, there we go. There we go. She fits perfectly in the circle. Okay, and what we're going to do is I'm going to put a, I want to put a little tiny glue drop on her. I don't want her to move, but I'm going to put a little tiny dot. Now, don't press this in too much with the dot because I don't want to like rip any of the paper. And I'm going to take this mask of the girl and just place it on top of the image in the circle. Now, don't press too hard. It is just to keep it in place, okay? So now that we have the girl on top, you can always just hold her if you prefer, just to, in case you're afraid that you might rip the paper. So I have her on top. I'm going to open my ink pads because I don't want to kind of struggle with them later. So I'm going to use my Flirty Flamingo. I'm going to have it open. Oh, Janice loves this stamp set, so do I. It is a fantastic stamp set. I'm so happy that I got it. So I'm also using the So Saffron, so Flirty Flamingo, So Saffron. And in my sunset, I'm going to have the Fresh Freesia because that's kind of what I saw roughly in the sunset last night. Okay, are we ready? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. So I'm going to have a blending brush for each color. So there's my orange, there's my yellow, and where is my purple? So I got one for each, okay? All right, we have everything set up. My blending brushes, my inks are open, and the girl is ready to go. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my circle. You can either have the complete circle on her, so it turns out like this, or you can have it offset if you prefer, or off to one side. I'm actually going to have it so it is just roughly reaching the top of the circle. So my sunset, I've decided, is going to have a little bit closer to the top than the rest of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually, make sure there's no cat hair on there. I don't know how that happened. I'm going to put a little bit of ink on my brush, okay? And I'm touching it on the paper. Whoops. And I'm going to, there's that cat hair again. And I'm going to hold my mask of the circle and the girl, and I'm going to carefully and gently go across. Okay, I'm not going to push really hard because I don't want to push under any of the papers. So I'm just going to kind of do a little bit. I'm starting with the yellow. I'm going to go completely around because that's the lightest color. Okay. All right. So I've done the yellow. Now it seems very dark, but that's okay. I want it that way. You know, maybe you don't. It's up to you. Now I'm going to move on to the next color. I'm going to move on to Flirty Flamingo, and I'm not going to go as far down as I did the first one. So I get some on. Now Flirty Flamingo for me is very dark, so I'm going to take a little bit off on the paper, and starting off the paper, I'm going to tap and press very lightly. Now I'm not going as far down as I did with the yellow, because, you know, it is a sunset, so I want it a little bit more on the top. Okay? So we're just going to go carefully like that. Okay? And I can see it's getting a change of color, just like a sunset. Okay? And because I'm not pressing really hard, I'm not getting under that mask of the girl, and that's very important. So I'm going to move to the next color, which is purple. Oh, Sherry Lou just received her in the moment. You haven't used it. Oh, you're going to love it. Make sure, Sherry Lou, that you take a look at that sampler that is offered for the team members and make that. It is fantastic. So again, a little bit of ink on my blending brush. Take some off on the scrap paper, and I'm going to be adding a little bit more into the sky. For me, I think the purple looks really nice. It reminds me of last night's sunset. Sandra did a beautiful, beautiful picture from her boat with the sunset. Oh, looks fantastic. So, I'm going to go a little bit. I'm going to carefully, like I said, this is one of the longest card classes we're going to have for a Tuesday, but there's just so many pieces in there. So I'm done with the blending brushes, so I'm going to put them aside. I love blending brushes. Oh my goodness. And I'm going to close my ink so that I don't put my thumb in that. I don't know about you, but somehow I could have the inks on a separate table and still stick my fingers in it for somehow if it's open. Okay, so now I'm going to lift this mask up, okay, and it's going to show off that beautiful sunset that I've done. Now I'm going to carefully lift off the mask of the girl, and I don't want to rip any of the paper, so I'm going to, when you pull it off and you have a glue dot on the back, go very, very slowly. That is the trick. So there we go. I've pulled her off. Look at that. Looks really great. Oh my goodness. I love it. I love it. Let me know how yours turned out. Don't throw this piece away. Actually kind of keep it with the stamp set. I'm going to put it in here because it's got a little bit of glue. I can stick it in there and I can use it again for something else. I'm going to just toss it in there in case I want to use her again. All right. Now that we have the stamp still going, let's add our sentiment in Memento black ink. And let's see, choose whichever one you like. Okay, I'm going to choose the one that says, be good to yourself. I think that is always a good thing to do. Always be good to yourself. So let's add that in Memento black ink. Okay, should fit in. Now remember, if it's crooked, there's always two sides. So let's stamp that. Great, that worked really well. Now, mine's a little low. I can always cut that off if I like. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll just do a little cutting and just trim it off a little bit. Okay. There we go. Just to make it a little smaller, just to fit. So now we've got our two images that are inked. So we've got the girl with the blending brushes and our sentiment. Okay. So let me know how you're doing. Oh, Sherry Lou just received it. Okay, so, and then what we're going to do is bring back in our card base. And now we're going to start with our card base. And what we can do is, you know what, I could always use the back of this pink if I wanted to add it to the card because I got some DSP over there. Let's see how that is going to work. I'm actually going to trim that down. And I think I'm going to give that a try and see how that works. I'm going to trim it to 4 5 1/4. If you want, you could always leave it white if you want, because that always looks good too. I'm going to take the Designer Series paper, and what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of ripping. So I'm going to hold this and rip away from me in a controlled little bits of ripping. Okay, and the reason I'm pushing the paper away from me is because I don't want that exposed white part on the up. I want it on the down. So I can place that on here. So this is what it would look like if I don't have the pink or the purple behind it. Okay, so it looks just as nice. Okay, I could put her on this side and put the sentiment on that side, right? It's up to you what you want to do. Depending if the cardstock paper matches, I could use that and place that on top. And there we go. I can do that. It's up to you what you really want to do. Since I have this purple, maybe I'll just use that scrap underneath, but there are options for you. I just wanted to let you know. So there's the white. Don't forget our ribbon. We want to add that. Oh, that would look really nice too. And if I wrap that around there, that's a tough one. I think I'm going to go with the plain white. Ah, that's tough. I'm just going to wrap my ribbon around here. And if I have enough left, I'm going to make a little shoelace kind of knot. Okay, so let's do that. I really like that look. Going to add it around. Trim it off. Let's see if I got enough to make a little shoelace. I'm just taping it on the back. Some people like to use their adhesive completely. Oh, wow. Oh, that's a little crooked. Alrighty. Let's go move it up and across. There we go. That's going to look really nice, I think. I'm going to add that with my seal. I'll put that on. This is a brand new one, so I'll get it started. And pop it on there. And I got a little bit left, so let's see if I can make that little knot. Come on. There we go. Sometimes I love ripping cards, like just the paper kind of adds a little bit of design to it. Oh, that's going to look fantastic. Oh, I'm always so excited. All right, I'm going to add the adhesive to the circle and onto the scalloped circle itself. And let's add some dimensionals to the back to make it pop up. Okay, I'm just going to add that. And I'm going to place it over the white area, kind of overlapping slightly on the designer series paper. And again, I'm going to take my sentiment and I'm going to tuck it up into the corner. Everybody is different, and I think each card is fantastic on what you decide to do. Don't forget to post your card today to be in the draw for those little iridescent snowflakes. And let's just add that on. Okay. You know what? Let's decorate the inside of this card. What sentiment? We could always stamp her again, or just use the little birds. I think I'm just going to stamp "You're in my thoughts." Okay. I'm just going to add that on the inside. Why not? Let's just dress it up a little bit. And you know what we could always do? Because it's on white, we can always use our blending brushes on the inside. Who says we can't do that? All right, let's see if I can get this straight. Fantastic. That's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to get my blending brushes, because I know I have a little bit of ink on there, so I'm just going to kind of go across. Let's do a little bit of purple. Color the inside. There we go. And a little bit of yellow. Why not? Who says we can't use blending brushes on the inside of our card? That was purple. That's right. Okay, there's the purple. Just a little color. Ah, that looks fantastic, actually. What a great idea. All right. And I could continue on if I want. And there we go. Day. And as I mentioned, keep an eye out. I'm going to be using the other papers that I did the blending brushes on. These ones. I'm going to post them today. I'm going to create something with them and post them today. So don't forget, oh, My friends, don't forget Wink of Stella. Just be very careful if you're going to be adding it to, say, the sunset. You might want to dab, but I'm just going to add it to her hat to give it some shine. Oh, that looks great. And her dress. Oh, that looks fantastic. Oh, love it. Love it. Oh, of course. And the little wine glass. Let's add it to the little wine glass. There we go. There we go. Oh, what a great idea. Wink of Stella, always got to add it to everything. What do you think of that? Oh my goodness, I just love that. Hold on a sec. Let's see if we can make sure we don't lose you. All right. Oh, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed and were able to keep along with the 3 different videos. I do truly apologize for that. I should always remember to double check and deselect my Wi-Fi. So don't forget, post your pictures to win the snowflakes. And if you have any questions, comment below or send me an email at northernstamper@gmail.com. Stay warm and keep crafting. Have a great day, ladies.